There are moments in life when a woman feels utterly alone, as if the world around her has crumbled and she's left standing, lost in the silence. The voices of others have faded, the support she once had is gone, and she's left wondering, where do I go from here? But in that moment of isolation, a powerful truth emerges. When a woman has no one but God, she discovers a strength, a peace, and a purpose that can only come from Him. This is the story of what happens when a woman is stripped of everything but God, and in the depths of the place, she finds a love that never fails and a power that never runs out. The world has a way of demanding everything from us. Relationships, expectations, careers, the list goes on. But when everything we thought we knew begins to shift, when the people we once depended on fade away, we are forced to face the reality of standing alone. But it is in this moment of solitude that God whispers to our hearts. For the woman who feels abandoned, overlooked, or unsupported, there is a truth that offers both comfort and hope. In the moments when you have no one but God, you are not truly alone. His presence fills the void, and in Him, you will find the strength to rise, the peace to heal, and the courage to keep moving forward. There is a story that echoes through the pages of the Bible. The story of a woman named Hagar, a servant cast aside in the desert with nothing but her son, and the vast emptiness of the wilderness surrounding her. Hagar, once a servant in Abram's household, had been abandoned in a moment of desperation. She had no one to turn to, no one to support her. And yet in the desolate place, God found her. He spoke to her, gave her promises, and reminded her that even in her loneliness, she was never forgotten. Hagar named the well where God met her Bir Lahai-roi, which means the well of the living one who sees me. Like Hagar, there are moments when we feel invisible, when we wonder if anyone sees us at all. But God, in His infinite love, meets us where we are, in our pain, in our isolation, in our loneliness. When a woman has no one but God, she realizes that His love is all-encompassing, that He sees her, hears her, and will never leave her. There is a beauty that emerges from this kind of solitude, a strength that only comes when we are forced to rely solely on God. When everything else falls away, we find that He is our rock, our refuge, and our constant companion. The love of God fills the emptiness that the world cannot, and in His arms, a woman finds her identity, not in what others think of her, not in what she can offer, but in the pure, unchanging love of the Creator who calls her His own. The deeper you go into the stillness, the more you realize that the world as validation doesn't compare to the divine assurance you receive from God. You might have felt the sting of abandonment or rejection, but in that quiet, sacred space, you begin to understand that God never abandoned you. His word tells us, "I will never leave you nor forsake you," Hebrews 13:5. And this promise becomes a lifeline when everything else fades. It's in those moments of loneliness that God does some of His most profound work. He refines us, teaches us, and shapes us into the women He has always known we could be. The pain of isolation turns into the power of intimacy with God. When you have no one but God, you begin to discover that He is enough, more than enough. In His presence, there's healing. In His words, there's hope. In His love, there's a peace that surpasses all understanding. This is the kind of relationship that fills you, that sustains you when no one else is around. It's a love that doesn't disappoint, a strength that doesn't falter, and a peace that doesn't fade. You may not have anyone to turn to, but you have the Creator of the universe standing beside you, ready to guide you, ready to hold you through the storm. And then, in the quiet, something shifts. You start to see yourself differently. Instead of feeling abandoned, you begin to feel embraced by a love that has never wavered. Instead of feeling weak, you realize you are stronger than you ever knew. Because you're not standing alone, you're standing with God. This is the shift that changes everything. The moment when you realize that God has always been with you, even when you couldn't feel Him. That's when the transformation happens. In this place, a woman finds her purpose, not in the approval of others, but in the deep calling of God upon her life. She becomes the woman God intended her to be, not because of what others have done or haven't done for her, but because of the power of His Spirit working within her. She becomes a woman who knows that her value is not determined by her relationships, her success, or her failures, but by the love of the one who created her. So, if you're feeling alone, if you're standing in a place where the world seems distant and your heart is aching, know that God is with you. When you have no one but God, you have everything you need. He is the comforter, the healer, and the guide. And in His presence, you will find strength, peace, and a love that never fails. As you walk through this season, remember that loneliness is not a sign of abandonment, but an invitation to experience the depth of God's love in a way you never have before. When a woman has no one but God, she discovers that she is never truly alone. God is always there, filling her with the strength to rise, the courage to face another day, and the hope that no matter what, she is never forgotten.